Whenever I hear Maori language being spoken, I immediately think of government and school, which is a shame really, because there's no real reason why Maori language can't be an interesting and rich part of modern culture all by itself. And from what I've learnt by studying various different languages and cultures, is that the fastest way to cause a language and a culture to die out is to associate it, purposefully associate it, with something that people would rather forget and have nothing to do with on a spiritual level, which is government and school. And it's a fucking shame really, because, you know, the more they shove Maori language down like young kids' throats in school, the more people want to have nothing to do with it, even if they otherwise would probably have had a lot of genuine interest in the subject. I mean, I like Maori language and culture, but I fucking hate school and the government. And the more those two things become one, the more Maori language and culture ceases to exist completely. What sparked my rant here is seeing on the YouTube homepage of all things, some kid doing a speech about how he's offended that people aren't pronouncing Maori words properly, even though he's not pronouncing Maori words properly himself or English words properly. And with that, like, this world's a melting pot. You have all these different people from all these different cultures with all these different accents. Who gives a shit how they pronounce different things? You're going to tell all the Indian kids and Chinese kids in a school to learn how to pronounce Maori language when they can't even speak fucking English properly. It's just absurd. And with that, after watching this video, I was reminded of just how much I loathe school. But as an adult, I can finally articulate why. You take a weird metaphor like, say for example you have a bunch of different unique vehicles. So you have a steamroller, and a V8 supercar, and a dump truck, and a motorbike, and a submarine, and a blimp, and a helicopter. And you make them all travel on the exact same terrain. Some will work really well, others won't work at all, and others will be able to move forward but with incredible amounts of friction. That is the same as taking all these unique different kids, these unique arrangements, and you force them all to go to school. I mean, some will do well, some will do terribly, and others will just bomb completely. And if you look at life as this infinite thing that can create infinite different versions of itself, and the most important thing in life is to honour the unique arrangement that is you, then the most heinous crime that can be committed is for people out of fear to force each other on a mass scale to dishonour their arrangement. Which is the cause of unnecessary friction in a society. It's the cause of, you know, people's inability to become the strongest version of themselves, to lighten up, to glow. Because, as I've discovered, you can't just do any work to become more powerful. You have to do work that honours your arrangement. It's as simple as that. And school, with their rudimentary bureaucratic practices and shoving the same ideas down everyone's throats, really goes against the point of life, I would argue. And on that note, if there's any one religion that should be really forced down kids' throats in school, it's Judaism. I mean, why the hell are people learning Maori in school when our entire, you know, this entire game humanity's playing at the moment is based on Judaism? I mean, we have 7-day weeks because the Jews celebrated traditionally every 7 days. Our monetary system, our calendar, time itself, the way our businesses work, the way we farm each other, all of it comes from the most successful means of navigating life's circumstances, which has proven to be Judaism. And since society is ruled by the best storyteller, and since Judaism is the story that our entire society is based around, you'd think that, you know, the most important thing for a young person to learn about in their formative years is Judaism. And New Zealand has a fucking Jewish Prime Minister, for God's sake. Yet everyone's learning Maori and criticising each other about who can't pronounce Maori words the best. And, you know, even though we've all got infinitely different accents, it's ludicrous. I hope you understand how ludicrous this really is. And it makes sense on a competitive level that, you know, the Jewish people wouldn't want to share, because, I mean, you take every single tribe, you know, tried to create their own discipline, their own unique way of getting ahead, being better at this game than the other guy. And it just so happens that the Jewish people happened to come up with the best means of navigating life circumstances. Their discipline won the race. Anyway, to wrap this up, sorry for getting a little bit carried away there, although I did want to make this as entertaining as possible because this is the internet after all, even though this was a spur of the moment thing. Anyway, if you stumbled across this video and you have something to comment, whether you enjoyed this video or whether you fucking hated this video, please leave your thoughts, as it'll prove to be interesting nonetheless, as I like to know what complete strangers think of what I have to say. Nonetheless, maybe I'll do a few more of these. We'll just see how this goes. I just uploaded this as an experiment, feeling strongly on a topic. Other than that, cheers for watching and listening to what I had to say to the end of the video, and yeah, thank you very much.